Well, it'll be B-roll. This is my fabulous B-roll.
This is our cheap Target espresso machine.
Why do you have to call it out like that?
Is it Target?
It is Target, but
Because the Amazon joints that I saw were like $200. This is what, $60?
that was by choice. There were more expensive ones at Target.
And this was the cheaper one.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Cheap Target espresso machine.
I don't know. The way you phrased it made it seem like Target only sold cheap machines. So I just wanted to clarify and say that
we're
Target,
the cheap ones, but
we're
let's not
cheap. It's not
disparage
Target.
the name of
Yes, it's not disgrace Target. It's us.
I'm sorry. We're gonna
Sensitive
cut
about
this
Target.
part.
Sorry about that.
All right, get off your phone. Get off your phone. Okay. You asked what day this is. We're about a month and a couple of days into quarantine.
Has it been a month?
It's been a month.
When did we shut down?
We shut down the end of the first week of March, and we are now getting ready to start the
second week of April.
So
you're right.
It's been a month.
So yeah, wow.
Yes.
Did you use a coaster?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a coaster. What?
Anyway.
Of course.
So how have we survived? How do you feel?
I feel good. I have therapy later, but I'm gonna talk to my therapist.
The only person in the house actively going to therapy feels
good. Which should tell you something.
It's wonderful.
Should tell you something.
We can do this every day.
We have done it every day.
Yeah.
We have not left the house for at least 2 weeks now. I feel like the last time we left the house was last Saturday because I really wanted a burrito, and you got really upset, and so we hardly. It was a chimichanga too.
Still wasn't worth your life. You had to go in a small little place.
It was good. It's Blue Cantina, East Atlanta. They're the only places that make the true deep fried big Tex-Mex burrito.
But they weren't observing like any social distancing.
It was 3 people in there.
No, but they were just letting people walk in. It was too early. We didn't know enough. There were no masks.
Anyway. What was that? So last night, Friday night movie night, which is something we did before the pandemic, is us kind of holding on to normalcy as much as possible. We watched Trolls World Tour, Trolls 2, and it was very enjoyable. But if you were on either of our Facebook feeds last night, you know that we had a reaction to some stuff in it because we were not ready for how. I was about to say fake woke, but I think woke is already fake. Like people have already like contextualized when I say woke as like an insincere term to use. Right?
It's overused.
Not just overused. It's like,
but let's talk to each other and not at the people. Like if you were on our Facebook feed, like we ain't that important. Ain't nobody on our Facebook feed.
Excuse me.
There's nobody checking. So let's just talk to each other. So what did you think about, so our life has become Friday movie night, which we were doing before, but Sekou wants us to have a schedule.
He does want to schedule events.
Like, so part of Corona life is scheduling activities for our kids.
Who can come down at any second.
Yeah, who want to be entertained all the time.
All the time.
They don't understand that there's been any disruption in life.
And so we got an invader coming. Go back to the playroom.
I think we do a lot more screaming in this house now.
I said go back to the playroom. What do you need to tell? You go back, Sekou. Rohan, what do you need to tell me?
Why do you want us to stay in the playroom?
Because mommy and daddy are doing something.
So we watched Trolls. What did you think about Trolls?
Trolls was great. The first 20 minutes of Trolls, I was so happy. I had goosebumps. I was singing. I may have shed a tear or two. Because, one of my biggest pain points of adulthood is watching metal and rock music fade away from popular culture.
I've heard.
It is no longer relevant. I feel like so many of the problems we have in society today are because metal and rock and alternative images and energy is out of the popular discourse. And I feel like that took the place of a lot
Metal
of... can
save us all.
I think metal can really help. I do. I think, I'm not going to get too far into it because then I'll start talking about my thesis and shit. No, the void is from the popular culture it's missing. So that's still there, right? Oh. You forget, this is my circle to an extent.
No.
That awful aside. I loved the first 15 minutes of the movie because I feel like this is the first time my children were able to see heavy metal for
They hated it.
And they hated it. But they
I was like,
I hate music.
Yeah,
I hate rock music.
I think he's just rebelling, which is very metal.
I don't know why
He's rebelling
people
against his
sound like an
dad.
alien.
which is the most metal thing he's done in his 4 years, is deciding that he's going to rebel against the man.
Well, I mean, so in that regard, he has a lot of rock in him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot of Rage Against the Machine.
A lot of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
The machine is me right now.
Yeah.
I understand that. And so, like, that just delighted me. And then, of course, they hit us with, like, what, Good Times was in it.
Good Time.
Good Times. They didn't do that? Did they
Oh,
do
that song called Good Time?
I don't know. Is that not what it's called?
I don't think so.
Why would that song not be called Good Times?
I don't know.
That's the
I know what
main
you're
words.
talking about. But when you said Good Times, I was thinking about the show, and I was like, did you hear chords from the
No.
But anyway,
they just with a bunch of dope, like, you know, funk,
the
pop
star-studded
stuff.
movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
great music in it. And then, you know, we won't go over the whole plot. But I guess we gotta give like a couple of details to make it make sense. Do we need to? Let's just
No,
get
we're
to
just
the main
talking. Yeah, this is not the podcast.
So what happens? What happens halfway through the movie? What happens halfway through?
So halfway through the movie. Oh no! Back it up. So Poppy's dad gives her the history
Yes.
of like how all the trolls interact, right?
Yes. And
so,
why
like,
they're apart.
there was harmony, and then there was like the ancestors thought that we couldn't make beautiful music together. That, you know, that one chord, because each troll community is assigned a chord that represents a certain genre of music.
That was their favorite type of music.
But yeah, their favorite type of music. So it's like all the music couldn't blend, so the ancestors, like, you know, thought we need to divide, so everybody took a chord and ran for safety, right?
Yes.
And they got
No. They took a chord and decided to go their separate ways. It's the way Poppy's father
went their separate ways.
Yeah.
And so Poppy's community got the
pop
pop
chord.
Yes, which happens to be
There's the pop chord, the techno chord, the country chord, the funk chord, and the rock chord. Those
No,
are
is there a rock chord?
Yes, that's the rock.
Oh, I didn't know she had a chord. I just thought
the
she was a rock
stream.
girl.
The stream.
Okay, well, go ahead. Never mind.
Maybe I'll tell the rest of the story. So that's Poppy's dad's version of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, and in the moment, we're like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, we're not thinking about this curveball they're about to hit us with and then immediately
Because we trusted the historian.
Yeah, we trusted.
We trusted Pop. Why would Poppy's daddy?
Why would Poppy's daddy lie? What does he have to hide? Right?
I don't know. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is how it is.
Yes, how it is. So we go on and we meet the country music trolls. And I think we met the techno trolls and the classical music.
We met the classical first, and their
place
the techno first. Destroyed.
The classical next. The techno was open.
Oh, they were open. Yeah, they were doing that. They were kind of cool.
They were dope. The classical music trolls were cool, and they talked about how they got destroyed. And then the country music trolls were cool. They were okay. They were very.
They were cool enough. They weren't really welcoming to Poppy.
Right. Which some people, you know. Yeah. And so when things take a turn that we were not like expecting, when I heard funk trolls, I was like, okay, these gonna be the black people. Whenever I watch an animated movie,
you're like, who's the black? I do that too. Like, who's the black animated character?
Yeah,
based on tone of voice or
not just that. Like, literally, who did they cast for these characters?
Oh, so you want to know who?
I went to IMDb.
The voices. Okay, cool.
You know, so there. So when I heard there were funk trolls, I'm looking. I'm like, okay, Mary J. Blige is in this. George Clinton, thank you, was in this. Anderson .Paak, okay, that's interesting. He probably got a song. I'm looking forward to that because they wouldn't. I'm sure Anderson .Paak is not doing Trolls movie if he don't get a song.
Of course,
right?
These Trolls movies are all about the songs.
They're all about the songs. Yeah. So they go to the funk trolls who are on a spaceship. So it's fucking amazing. They're on a big spaceship, and it's all this funkadelic imagery, and it's great. And so Poppy gets there. Now, Poppy's character is already kind of annoying, but that's like endearing for the most part. She's Poppy.
Yeah.
She's
like
just
a happy, lovable troll.
Right.
They have fun time. Yeah.
All that good stuff.
So
Poppy's already
goes
annoying.
to the funk.
But her annoyingness is an endearing character trait. It's because she's annoying just because she's so upbeat and hopeful. And you're supposed to be endearing. And it is, right?
It is cute.
So she gets to the funk spaceship. And Poppy's like, okay, we need to work together to help save all the trolls. And immediately I'm like,
it's a little problematic.
Right? I'm like, what are they gonna say back? And the funk trolls give each other a look like, oh shit.
You don't know.
Should we go with another one of these? And that's like, oh wow, I know that face. A black animator said, no, listen. When she says this, they need to look at each other in a specific way. Like, okay, here we go. And so George Clinton and Mary J. Blige say, look, Poppy, that's not how this works.
Like, let me tell you the real story.
Right, the real story.
And how your people...
Right, no. Anderson .Paak's song is breaking down a history,
the real history
of white imperialism
of
all the trolls. And me and Autumn are like...
And how Poppy's people...
Right.
Were at the helm of the division.
Yes.
And
because they were power hungry.
Yes, they were trying
and they wanted
to
control everybody else's chords.
Yeah.
And he says the lyrics in the song is like, I don't really rock with pop. It's all samples and rehab stuff. But it's all love, like whatever. Like I'm like, this dude is spitting.
It really is the essence of how of the black experience, right? You know better. A lot of people
of all imperialized.
A lot of people you're going to interact with. The majority of people, right? They're not going to necessarily know better, but you have to come from this if you're going to exist, if you're going to thrive,
you're going to move within their world.
You're going to move within their world. You have to come from this
it is what it is. It's all love.
It's okay.
Let's just keep it moving. That's basically what the song is.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't really fuck with y'all like that, but it's okay. Let's just keep it moving. All right, it's cool. Why? Well, because this and this, but it's fine. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. It's cool.
It's okay, just let it go.
Let's let it go. I keep moving.
And Poppy is caring because Poppy, but we can fix it.
We can fix it.
I don't understand. I'm
so sorry. She didn't even apologize in the moment. I think she maybe did. Did she apologize? I don't know.
She was stunned though.
She was stunned. And we were stunned because...
And in all fairness to Poppy, she was taught incorrectly.
Yes.
She was taught incorrectly.
Which is why it's so profound.
Generational... the transfer of misinformation from generation to generation.
Right, to maintain a myth.
Yes.
And that's why,
to protect them.
That's probably like we had the Animals Utopia, Inside Out, and a couple of other every kid's movie has
Inside Out was just emotional intelligence.
But it's still a more challenging message than save the environment. 85% of kids' movies are save the environment. We got it, cool. But these other movies that are look, we're going to challenge the sociological constructs with which you're raised with. It's oh, okay, you are? That's cool.
Yeah.
And so this is the first one where I'm ooh, they really kind of got in there a little bit.
They did. And they really drove it home at the end.
No, they failed to drive it home.
Well.
They tried to. They did. They gave us a diet version of driving.
Okay, I will agree.
They definitely caught.
But I think at that point we were tuned into the subtext.
Yeah.
So that we were extracting things this is that.
Right.
Did they mean this by that? So so they didn't drive it home, but at that point we kept looking at each other
But even just that moment is interesting. I don't know how powerful it is, if it works per se, but there are a lot of parents, some parents we know, I'm sure, who they had that experience that Poppy had, where you're sat down and taught America's real history.
If you had that experience, please give us a call. We'd like to hear right now.
No. Please comment, like, and subscribe. But I'm sure we know parents of white children, I should say, that they had that experience in undergrad or in the conversation at working place where they had to learn about what systemic oppression was or white imperialism is, and they're like 20 or 30 maybe even, and nobody ever told them.
Or better yet, understand the far-reaching impact of those things.
Right.
So they may have had a cursory or like surface understanding of what it was.
They know racism is bad.
Yeah, they knew it was a thing, right?
But they don't know how it really works.
But they don't know,
You know, and so they all, and this is an understandable human response. Their immediate response is remorse and empathy, which is like, it's supposed to be great, but from our perspective, our standpoint, once you've been through that a handful of times, you're just like, oh, okay, yep.
Well, no, I mean, it's like there's something wrong with mythology that says the people who messed everything up then get the right or expected or should be trusted to then fix and correct everything.
Right.
And so that's the triggering and in this movie's case laughable element.
Yeah.
Because we learned that her people were the real problematic people. And yet she's like, but I will lead the charge.
Yeah, the great thing
people will bring us all together. And it's like, that didn't work.
They didn't do right by Poppy, but they definitely did right by the funk trolls. Because she's like,
we get into when black people save the world?
No, yes.
Because black people save the world.
So she, in this moment, she's like horrified and shocked. And she's like, well, we can still fix this. We can do this. We can work everything out. And they're like, all right, look, you gotta go.
And she's like, wait, the rock troll is coming. And they're like,
we know, it's good. You gotta go ahead. We'll figure it out.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you. And they pop her out in a little space.
Dialogue and joy.
Right. And so they do still get messed up because that's how it works sometimes. And so we skip later in the movie, and this entire important subtext is completely dropped and abandoned. Like she learns not. So this element of historical imperialist activity destroyed our society turns into, but we fixed it, so everything's cool. High five. There's no reparations. There's no maybe there's an apology.
There's no reparations.
There's no recognition of like how this fully worked and affected everybody. There's just, we fixed it. We're cool. Everything's cool.
Everybody has to, because so it's a kids movie. Right. And everybody has to feel good at the end.
That's true.
Right?
We can feel good while also
accepting
responsibility a little hard, right? No,
that's not how it works in kids movies.
So they do the last big song number. And what is it? Playing together, making music together. They do have one really good.
So we have so the rock girl comes and the rock girl gets all everybody's strings.
Hold on,
right?
spoiler warning.
Whatever.
As we're 70% of the movie.
She gets everybody's strings and she accomplishes her task, right?
Right.
She plays the most powerful chord ever and all that kind of stuff. So I'm getting to the point where black people save the world. So now all the music's gone, and all the colorful trolls are all like black and white. There's no color, right? We are living in the perfect caring utopia where there are no differences. Nobody sees color because nobody has color. We're all the same right now, and we realize immediately that that's not a good place to be.
So, and this is one thing they did. I'll give them props for. They did drive home an important point about colorblind racism.
Yes.
That the idea of not seeing difference is not a good idea.
Not a good thing.
And that's something.
And Satan took that away.
Yes.
She was like, differences are good. I'm like, differences are good. And people tell you, I don't see color.
They're full of shit.
Yes.
You make sure they see it. Your name is sacred. We
did that on purpose. They will see your color. So nobody has color. And then, everybody's like, what do we do?
What are we going to do?
I don't know. And Poppy's
and then the funk trolls just looking at each other.
Stop calling them the funk trolls.
They're the funk trolls.
They're the black people. So,
I like the idea of funk trolls.
The funk trolls, a.k.a. the black people. No, they're the funk trolls.
Right.
They...
His heartbeat.
his heart beats, right? Because the music is in him, right?
The music is in his
it's
heart.
in his heart, right? And so when everybody else doesn't know what to do, when the troll community are at their lowest, right? The funk troll, his heart starts
beating. And then Anderson .Paak's troll character starts beatboxing to the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how niggas make music. It just comes through us. It's something as a song.
Like
oh, I'll bleep it out. It just becomes a song. Like literally, you got black folks walking in the line and somebody starts humming and then you got a top 10 out.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And so, and that's literally what happens in the movie.
But that's also like a metaphor for life in general.
Right, because
like everything's falling apart. Nobody else knows what to do.
Right.
But the funk trolls, they've been there before.
Right.
So they immediately know how to rebuild.
Right.
And if given the space
or better yet, they have the resilience to rebuild from nothing because nothing is a place they've been at multiple times before.
Yeah.
And they know they don't have to stay there. They may end up back there again because Poppy and them don't get the stuff right.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do right now?
Yeah.
We're not gonna stop. So we're gonna keep this heart beating. And Anderson .Paak gonna beatbox it. And then after that, I thought this was a cool little thing, is that the country trolls were next. The country music trolls were next.
Oh, wait. But I have to say something about the whole don't see color thing. Because Poppy definitely, they play with that subtext a little bit. Because the funk troll, whose heart was beating the music, right? He was raised because of an accident as a pop troll, right? And like Poppy totally didn't realize that he was different from the rest of the pop trolls.
Right.
So when she sees him with the other funk trolls, looks like she's like, what? There are more trolls that look like him. Like she totally like this funk troll was living amongst the pop trolls, and nobody took the time to recognize that he was different and make him feel comfortable.
Right. So as soon as he finds out there's trolls that look like him, he's like, look, I holler at y'all. I love y'all, but I gotta go see about this.
Like nobody, they just ignored it. The whole pop community was just like,
we don't see
we don't see your extra.
You're just a pop troll like the rest of us.
Yeah, it was really,
You're like a funk troll, but you're like the most pop troll, funk troll possible. You see what I did there? You're not like a funk troll. Anyway. So we end with the big number, and Poppy lets us know that she's learned a little bit, but not everything, because they have this great moment where it's like difference is important, yada yada yada. Which again, I give the movie props. That is a radical thing to do in a kids' movie, to say, hey, the idea that we're all the same is false. We are all different, and that's cool. In fact, that's what makes us celebrated.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, so that's good. But then at the end of the movie, Poppy's dad apologizes to Poppy, and then like runs off and is celebrated. There's like no.
He has no punishment.
Right? No remorse, no apology to the other trolls.
None
of the other trolls hold him accountable.
No.
Like, this is
I've
your
been lying.
fault.
I've been holding up this lie forever to keep the different communities of trolls separated.
Right.
Now you guys are integrated.
We can maintain our historical power that was
now you guys are integrated. It's great. Whatever.
We did it. And then Poppy says...
No. And then they go back to the troll scrapbook.
Yes.
Which is where they document, or how they document their history, right? You should know that. You should have watched Trolls 1. And Poppy goes, our ancestors. Girl, Poppy, our ancestors, like you were just schooled. So like you know the truth now, Poppy.
It's your ancestors.
Your ancestors. Your pop people messed this up for the rest of us. And we got this right. The black people got it right, aka the funk troll.
Oh no, you didn't let me finish my thing about the country troll real quick.
Oh.
Just real quick.
Country trolls is country trolls.
No, but the thing is, the country trolls joined in immediately after, because the country trolls, the metaphor I pulled, I'm getting extra deep hotep here, is that the thing that we often don't think about is how white poverty is very adjacent to black poverty. In that until politics and like structural racism fully inserts itself, poor black people and poor white people get along so well.
Yeah.
Like there's so much synergy because it's...
I wouldn't get along so well, but there's definitely synergy between what the communities experience.
Right. There's synergy between what they experience. And until like those structural elements like fully insert themselves, there's all this synergy. And because they know what it feels like to also start from nothing, yada yada yada. And so they're the second group. I just want to point out that their purpose, I think it's very purposeful that they were the second group to chime in the song, to build another chord to the song.
Okay.
After the black group.
I think that's valuable.
So that was it. But I'm sorry. And so Poppy's like our ancestor.
Our ancestor.
And I think you immediately said our. Poppy, yours.
Now we're not gonna just forget that we on this journey learn that, you know.
Say, can we help you? So she says our instead of mine. Then it lets me know that they knew not to fully drive home. What is it? Was it Huey in Boondock says you can't just be telling white people the truth all the time? Something like that.
I don't know.
It was something like that, and I think that was very true. But I just feel like it was overall.
It was a good movie.
A good movie.
It was a good movie. And then it hit all the high notes that a cutesy kids movie should, right? So the music was good. They did like a pop montage.
That was hilarious.
You know, so that was cool. Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style was
or whatever.
Yeah, they definitely Gangnam, I think.
I don't know. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
They definitely did a good job with the message they really wanted to get out. And the subtext they kind of sprinkled in. I think there's gonna be some really like when I can't wait till Black Twitter gets a hold of this. I can't wait till
Black Twitter get a hold of this.
Yeah, Black Twitter gets a hold of everything.
I mean, but like on a real level.
I just saw. There was a whole set of memes about how Scar from The Lion King was a queer revolutionary Marxist.
Lion King is low hanging fruit when it comes to that kind of analysis.
No,
yeah, it is. Like you know the subtext of The Lion King. We even knew that from the first Disney Lion King. I mean, and then the story is not unique. So that's not like the fact that you would realize the Lion King.
There was nobody saying that Scar was the real hero of The Lion King until.
They're saying Scar is the real hero of The Lion King.
You're not listening to me. There was a whole set of like Black Twitterisms about how Scar was a.
It's still there's just so many conversations to be had around The Lion King.
But can I finish?
Haitian Revolution.
No. Haitian Revolution. A little bit,
yeah.
But so Scar. They said Scar was a queer radical Marxist.
That Twitter comes with it.
You're right. It's like that's what's really going on. While the hell's his name? Mufasa was the capitalist pig holding all the poor people down and keeping all the resources.
I mean, I've heard conversations about The Lion King. I just don't know.
That's like,
maybe because we're
that wasn't
subtext
in that
movie. If we can talk
though.
about Tiger King, then maybe we will talk about it.
We're good.
We're not going to talk about it. But I'm saying, like, if the world can talk about it.
But I had to get this off the chest. I feel so much better. I wanted to go live last night. I want people to see the movie. Look, it's $20 for a movie night for a brand new movie that was supposed to come to theaters.
How many movies will we get?
All movies are going to do this, well, except for like
the Issa Rae thing.
Issa Rae movies coming out, right?
So we're not going to pay for that.
All movies that they want to make money off of are going to do this. If they feel like they can legit get people to buy it, like us, they're going to do it.
And we're going to buy them all.
Like if the Marvel movies, if Black Widow comes out in home theater, we're going to buy that.
Will it go above $20?
No, none of them are going to go above $20. That's clearly the standard.
Which is really a costly.
Yeah, because it's $40 a movie.
I mean, it's more than that if you take your kids.
Right.
We don't take our kids to movies.
Anyway, so that was it. That's all. We don't have like an outro, but I'm gonna finish this coffee and let me go do my therapy.